Hello, my family and friends. This is yours truly, Bishop Godfrey Williams, inviting you to just tune in every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. on our social media platform, where you will be hearing from a number of men in this month of June. God bless you as you do so.
Today, we have the men of the royal family. Let's hear what they have to say regarding Father's Day.
My name is Roosevelt Ricardo Rhodes Sr. I grew up in the Grove in Nassau, and I was a policeman now for 32 years, married to Miss Carla Rule, and we have 5 kids. 3 of my boys are here, and I just thank God, for where He's brought me from, and where He's taken me, and what a wonderful family that He's given me, and the relationship that we have, and I just thank God for Father's Day. Father's Day is a very special day for me because I came up with a stepfather. Although I knew my real dad, I came up with a stepfather, and he did his best, but there was something still lacking, I believe. So that is why I stick with my sons, stick with my family on the whole. But it's a joy for Father's Day when it comes around. It's not highlighted as Mother's Day, but I still appreciate it, and I thank God for His blessings on me and our family on the whole. Thank you.
My name is Roosevelt Ricardo Rhodes Jr. 31 years old. I'm married to the lovely Alana Rhodes, formerly Minister. We expected 1 child. I don't think everybody knows that. Thank God for that blessings. But Father's Day means a lot to me. I realized growing up with a lot of my schoolmates, a lot of them didn't have, 2 parents in the home. Their father wasn't in the home. So I'm a little bit more appreciative of Father's Day and having a good father. And that's what I plan to instill into my child. I had a good father. I have a good father, and I want to pass it on.
Well, my name is Rashad Rule. I'm not the oldest, but I am the middle child of these 2 brothers. And I'm thankful for Father's Day because my father, 1, and 2, I am a father of the beautiful 3-year-old Rashad Rule. And it's just grateful to see what it is to become a real father. And that's what Father's Day really means to me, because even though I had the foundation from birth with my father, I'm instilling that in someone else, in the next child. And the joy of fatherhood comes from being a father. And that's pretty much it.
My name is Roshan Rule, 18 years old. I'm not married, I don't have any kids. But I am the last of 5 kids, and Father's Day is it's an appreciation for me because I have my father myself. So I know where to go from where. When I start, I know where to start off from. And I have 2 other examples brought up under the same father. So I have more than enough to lean on and to move in the correct path. So that's why I appreciate Father's Day.
Many times, the youngest gets away with much more than the older ones. Let's hear from Rayshawn and see what he has to say.
Yeah, I could say that. I was a pretty soft one coming up. So my mommy and my dad were never hard on me, as hard as I heard the stories as they were hard on my siblings. So they gave me some pressure. So it's some of the stuff and the reasons why I consider myself to be better now is because they instilled some stuff in me too. So it was like having an extra set of parents, and I appreciate that. So I would say that I got it pretty easy, but I still got a lot of pressure from them as well.
What qualities would you demonstrate to your child based on what you have experienced in your family?
Firstly, discipline. You know, you can't let them get away with what they want to get away with. You know, sometimes I tend to be soft-hearted, so what I picked up is discipline. That's love as well. You know, showing discipline. Love, secondly, always providing for them, always being there for them. Whenever my niece call on my brother, he's there. Whenever I call on my dad, or whenever we call on to this day, I'm 31 years old, I can call on him, and he'll be there, you know. So it's discipline, it's love, and it's also character. That's a main thing I learned from my dad first, and then my brother, that, you know, you got to do an honest day's work for honest day's pay. You know shortcuts. You know, there's favor, but you know shortcuts. But that's basically what I pick up from them, what I try to pass on.
As a young father, there are some who would like to know, what is it like to be a father?
You know, they say experience is the best teacher. Even though I have the knowledge of seeing what my father did for me, but it's not better than doing it yourself and your own child. But like Roosevelt say, discipline. And then that's being there. Once, like I always say, once you're in your child life, you always know what your child need and wants. And that basically, it's some things, like I always tell Audrey too, like we put fear in our children. So what I try to do is eliminate fear, eliminate doubt, eliminate anything that would hinder them from being better than me. Because that's the end goal.
Yeah.
That's my end goal. And I think that's my father's end goal, to be better than him. And my end goal is for my child or my children to be better than me.
Yeah.
And that's all I pushing for. So some things I can't accomplish, or I wouldn't say can't, but I'm not going to accomplish. But some things my daughter and or the rest of my children, soon to become, will accomplish, and it's going to be achievement for me still. Yeah. But the atmosphere what I'm in that's passing it on, and that's what we need. That's the same more family like this, togetherness, as we pass it on, and the Bahamas become better, because the Bahamas will know what it is again to be a family. So, yeah.
Many families, villages are torn apart. What are some of the motivations that keep your family together?
Well, I think not having my real father there was one of the motivation. There are many times that I was told by my mom, "Oh, your dad is coming to visit you," and he never showed up. So as I took on a family, I never wanted my children to say that. And two, my dad, you know, he has a way of doing things. He has a little history. So I believe that once I would have gotten married, I would have stuck to my married vows and do my best. Now, it hasn't been easy, but June, the 24th of June, we'll be doing 32 years. So, and I really thank God for where He's brought me from. And the Lord in my life too made a big difference. You know, I think the Lord guided me in the right path, and that's why I'm here today. Like I said, I'm originally from Nassau, but Freeport, I fell in love with Freeport from 1990 when I used to bring prisoners over. And it was not until 2000 that we came here. And I believe it was the right decision at the right time. So God has a way of doing things. And so I'm here, and I appreciate even the church, the foundation, Bishop Williams, and the leaders. I appreciate the foundation that we're getting from day to day. An example is living for us. Yeah. It's not like living an example or seeing an example, so that I can be an example to my children and whoever else I come in contact with. I spent a few years in the cell block, and based on my experience, I was able to tell the persons, the young men that were locked up, I said to them, I said, listen here, Jesus will give you a better high. And I'm not asking you nothing, because I went through a process where I smoked a little dope, and I did a little thing, drink and got drunk. So I know that Jesus, when I accepted Jesus, it was the best high ever. So I really thank God, for my space and my presence and His presence in my life.
Let's take a break from this pre-Father's Day special, and we'll be right back.
Welcome back.
What is your encouragement for those who don't know how to apply the various
my mom used to
principles?
say to me, every tub will stand on its own bottom. And truth be told, whatever your actions are, only you will suffer the consequences. And the Bible says that before we was conceived in our mother's womb, He knew us. So God knew us and He called us for work in this land. And I believe that whatever you're going through, where you may be in a situation where you may be on drugs, on the street, on the gang, God is the ultimate Father, and I believe that once you accept Him, He will direct your path and fulfill His purpose in your life. And I can tell you another thing too. The process or what you're going through may be hard, but whatever God has for you is for you. And nobody can take it away. So you just got to endure what you're going through and decide to do it for you. You got to love you. It has to be personal. You have to be personal. You got to love you to get through your circumstances. And I didn't even know when I stopped smoking and doing them stuff. It just dropped from me. You know what I mean? So it had to be in the Lord. Yeah. So I encourage young men to seek the Lord. That's all I can say. Seek the Lord, because just how He spoke life into this earth, He's speaking life into us before we was conceived. So in the spiritual realm, you got to come against the principalities and the powers of darkness, and then you got to come against inherited curses, because some of their fathers were in prison before, or in a certain situation that they find themselves right in the situation, but you got to come against it and you got to fight against it. Yeah. And that's something personally you have to do. You have to do, because there's a heaven and there's a hell. Okay, yes, and all what you do for Christ will last, and you got to remember Thy Creator in the days of our youth. Trust me, it's very important.
For a father listening out there, here is a word of advice for one who isn't playing a vital role in their children's life.
What I would say is, like I always been saying, spend time with your child. But if it's hard to do, or you at other organizations and stuff like that, always make time. We make time for what we want to do, and it's like how I would say it. One of my boys is having a little hard time, right? And like, I have my responsibilities. Like, I have to go pick up my daughter at 3. So even though my boy having his hard time, I still going to see with him, talk to him after I pick up my daughter. So me and my daughter talking to him, chilling on the blocks. Nobody know my daughter on the blocks now, right? But my daughter's right there with me. And my phone watching YouTube or whatever. Right? While I said talking to my boy, trying to get him the vent and stuff like that. So your daughter could be there right with you, wherever you are, and that limit my time being there. Because why? My daughter can't stay that long. So even though I carry my daughter there, that's to talk to my boy, and that's his godchild too. So why? He's gonna get more motivated when I bring my daughter around, because it's a joy. So he's gonna be more motivated when his child come around, or if he have a child, that he will spend more time with his child. So that's how you gotta look at it. I mean, children, when they're on their good behavior, they're delights. It don't matter where you want them. Put YouTube, let them watch something, and they're good. So it's not that hard that you cannot do it. It's just that you don't want to do it. And I'm not saying it's by choice, but you need to find out what you want to do and do it. Because the child didn't ask for be here. The child did not ask. So it's our responsibility to provide, to love that child until they're off age and they can do it on its own.
Let's hear about the importance of a father's presence.
For me personally, I have a very loving father. It hasn't. I can't recall a time when I've had something that was of importance to me, and he missed it. So I would say love is a very important thing. Everybody needs love. God is love. So therefore, and we need God. So therefore, love should be in everything that we do. Everything that we put forth should be out of love. And love shouldn't be a soft or mushy thing, because brotherly and fatherly love is some of the strongest love you can have. So I just feel as though if you I mean, everyone has the capability to put out love. So if you can, you should do it, because that's what we were meant for. God loves us, so we were meant to be loving beings. So I feel as though no matter how soft you think it is, how hard you think you is, you need love. And you never know, somebody can need the love that you put forth. So love is a very important thing.
Soon to be father expresses his way to demonstrate love to his child.
How would I demonstrate my love to my child? Like my brother was saying, I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna love that child. Like, I'm already going through the process of like thinking about this is a different level of love coming now, just a different responsibility, and just how my dad did all he could have for us and continue to do. That's what I'm going to push into my child. And I'm not going to spoil them, but I'm going to make sure they have all the spiritual tools, the financial tools. So like my brother said, so they can become better than me, So just gonna love on them, man. And like I say, I know it's not always going to be easy, and I know it's going to be some adjustments because I'm new to this, but just going to do the best I can and just love them.
He's the most loving one anyway.
You
can't run away from not spoiling them.
Yeah.
It's just that you give them the same amount of discipline as much as you spoil them. Because when you see,
One of my coworkers was like, I don't know what I'm having yet, right? So there's like, if you're having a boy, okay, it's cool. But if you're having a girl, she gonna break your heart.
That's what I was telling them. It's like, but like I have a girl. Like my girl is my girl forever. Some guys, when they have boys, they say, okay, he 18.
He goes.
But your girl,
that's
no
it.
matter how old she is.
Even when she married.
That ain't need this, that ain't need that. And we see the same example with our sisters. So we can't run from that if we have a girl. And even with boys, we still love a little more freedom than our sisters. You can't run away from spoiling them. That's it's the same amount of discipline. That's what I do.
Balance. Yeah, man. It's important.
I when the spoiling, I spoil my baby. It ain't only me. It's everybody else around. Like, I can't stop them from not spoiling them, because they look at me like, why are you stopping them
from doing what they
want to do?
That's
so
why.
they make me look like the bad guy.
And you're gonna be the bad guy.
No. That's why the discipline is important.
That's why the discipline is important.
Many would ask the question, why do grandparents spoil the grandkids?
I mean, we do that to a certain extent, but when it comes time to disciplining Shy, I do a little bit of that. You know what I mean? But that's just how grandparents is. Grandparents just soft.
Yeah.
To a certain extent.
They
you
get
know.
soft.
Yeah, that's all. You know, and they
Yeah.
just and I think grandparents are a little older too, so you know they're a little tired.
Mm-hmm.
Since they already dealt with the parents, you know, the grandchild, you know, gets a little softer blow. You know what I mean? But it's a joy. It's a joy. I need about 5 more. I told them. At least.
The father as a protector, what does that look like?
Be it for children, but also your girlfriend or your wife, they gotta get that trust in you for them to protect you. You see, because you provided, you're doing that. But they listen, the 21st century now, women are providers also, you see, but protectors. Women can protect. It's just that, men, we have to be in the forefront. So we have to get that trust from our children and our spouses. For protection, because certain things. I remember one instance. I think we was picking up Shai from school, and Shai was scared of this man, right? And I right here, so like, said she come to me. She ain't come to me. She going back to the teacher. So I try to say like, baby, alright, chill. Why you going back to the teacher, right? Just that she is ready in the teacher's arm, so she didn't want to come out the teacher's arm to come to me. You see? She ready in comfort, so she's not leaving that comfort to pass this man who she don't know to come to me. But that stuck with me, even though that happened like so long ago. That stuck with me. So anything like that, like fear, and my child, I always tell her, daddy right here for you, daddy have your back. Anything, don't be scared and stuff like that. They have to get that trust from you for you to protect them. You see. So once you build that from now, and they see the example of you doing that for your spouse, their mother, it could come. You see, it's not easy being a protector. Provider is not even hard. I mean, not even easy. It's hard. So being a protector is even harder. Yeah.
Let's take a break from this pre-Father's Day special, and we'll be right back. Pastor Ed Ambrister and the Jubilee West men are getting ready for their Father's Day special. I'm telling you, you don't want to miss it. It's going to be explosive. It's going to be live. It's going to be interactive right on the Jubilee Cathedral Facebook page and YouTube page on June 19th. You definitely don't want to miss it at 7:45 p.m. See you there.
Yeah, well, I believe that, I mean, all of them, I protected them. Some people said that we got them too close, or we have them too close to us, but I really believe that if we keep them there, then they wouldn't they wouldn't get into no mischief or get into no problems. Now that they're older, I still would like to know or have an idea what's going on in their life, because as long as our eyes are open as parents, we'll still have a part or role to play in our children's life and our grandchildren's life. So, you know, it's just you just would want to know what's happening with them. And if it's any danger and you can assist, you like to be there to assist them, whether it be spiritually, emotionally, or financially. You know, you just like to be there. And plenty of things growing up as a child you miss, your parents may have wanted to do. Like my mom, for instance, she had to work. So certain things she wanted to do, or my wife could have done, would have done, because she was available. My mom couldn't do. So that's important to me, to be there and to be a protector. Sometimes they just rob me and say, "Daddy, you getting in our business." You know what I mean? But that's just how it is. You know, my mom, you know, she couldn't get my business because she had to be working. So, you know, and it's a good thing, you know, because what happened is children, they go through stuff and they go into depressive states, and because we all been there. Yeah. So sometimes you like to know before it get out of hand, because you're still bone of your bone and flesh of your flesh somehow, you know, and then it's a part of your heritage or your generation. You want your generation to really impact the world or the nation or the world. So you want to make sure they're doing the right things, and you just Yes, just loving them and being there for them. That's important, and it comes with protecting them. And providing for them. Yes, sir.
When understanding our makeup, we must understand our design in the parameters of Christ, which builds us up.
Let me stop. Girls for everyone. Let me stop. Why you locking up? But about communication, like I say, with my father and my parents and my siblings on the whole, whenever I felt a certain way, more to certain others, but on the whole, it gets around eventually. I communicated my feelings because before I used to be down and about the way I was and certain stuff. But like I say, if I wasn't meant to be this way, God wasn't gonna make me this way. So I feel as though He made me this way for a certain purpose, and I don't know it yet. But I feel as though eventually I'll figure it out as to why I am the way I am. So communication is very important because I'm telling you, you feel so much better if you talk with your feelings, even if you have to talk with your feelings to yourself. You might sound crazy, but I tell you, somebody out there hearing, and it's God hearing for sure.
Yeah.
So even if you have to talk it out to yourself, find someone to communicate with. Don't let your thoughts sit in your head. Don't let them race you up. Take a minute, sit back, recline, talk to God, and just try and gather peace from Him, because He's the Prince of Peace. So He'll provide you with that peace. So all I'm saying to you is find love and find peace with God, and then gather that to yourself. Because I could say, not only from my family, but from myself and from God, He has allowed me to love myself. Now, because back then, before I had my relationship with God, and before I used to tell my family stuff, I never used to love myself. I used to hate myself. But now, you can't tell me nothing, because I've found that self-love in God and in my family. So it's just important to find God first, and then find your self-love.
How do one build lines of communication and a healthy culture as a family?
Well, what Dad didn't mention was that the closeness came from, like he said, keeping us near. Like, I make this joke to my coworkers sometimes, like, when I came to Freeport, that's the first time I knew about, like, Kentucky is served the individual boxes of food. Because we always used to get family feasts. Like, from Kentucky, like, it always used to be a 10-piece of chicken with 2 family-sized fries. Then when they come to Freeport, and I think I was in school one day, and they had an individual box, I say, "This, do that?" Because that's all we know, So it's the closeness. And then even when our siblings, when we would fight, because siblings fight, we're not perfect. My dad would always scold us and say, animals live in the zoo. So that stick with us from kids, that, animals live in the zoo. Y'all don't need to fight. You have your disagreements, but you come back together. So that contributed to our closeness. And in reference to communication, our parents, they like I said, I felt I grew up in a rich home. I know we wasn't the richest, but my dad would work a lot sometime, but even when he gets home, he would spend time with us and do what he have to do. Like, the lines of communication was always open. Like Roshan said, most of the important events in my life, my dad was there, my parents was there. And what I realized too, we developed that culture within the siblings. So everybody have someone to talk to. So Shawnee would have Shanda to talk to. I would have Shad to talk to. Sheeta would have Shanda to talk to. Everybody have someone. So we kind of developed that culture because it came from them that, you all are one. You know, it's not a cult. We're not perfect, but it developed. I think it came out of love. And I could speak to the church aspect of it too, that we push church on our kids, but we can't just push church. We got to push church with love. Because when we were growing up, my grandmom was a pastor, so we would be in church straight through. And then I know some kids, Shawnee age, would get tired of church. But we didn't get tired of church because it was church with love. You can't just say, push your children to go to church and y'all do this, y'all do that, and then you go home, you ain't showing them no type of love, and you ain't being there for them. It has to be church with love. And I believe that helps to cultivate, and that helps to push the family forward. So it's important. It's important. Like Rashad said, we need more families like Bishop Williams' family, Pastor Quest family, the Delavos, the Burrows, the Penders, to name a few of the roles, you know, that because the enemy is attacking the family. You know, if he break us up, he that's what he wants to do. So if it's more units like this, we like Shad, what he's trying to develop when he gets married with his unit. I got married, I having a baby, I trying to develop, and it passes on. So it's generational. Same thing, yeah. So it's supposed to basically pass on. And like I said, we have arguments. We had some arguments, but because we know animals live in the zoo, and we our parents love us. You know, after a couple of days, we just start talking again, and we over that. I say what I had to say, you say what you had to say, and it's all out of love. And what our parents taught us too, not to be selfish. You see what I'm saying? So whenever we correct you or whenever we want to make you better, just how our parents was doing to you. Yeah.
Many times we take for granted that our father would always be with us. If this was your last moment with your father, what would you say to him?
If that's a deep one, Pastor, you know. But and like it kind of hit home because you know our end goal is to heaven, you know. So we know you gotta die one day. But what I would say, and this is hypothetically because I know he's gonna live for 50 more years, you know, that kind of way. But I would say thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you. I realize now I ain't even have a child yet. Just from being married, I realized the sacrifices you made, you know. I realize I'm 31, and you know, us younger kids, we kind of deal with pressure a little bit different. But you were 34 when you moved us to Freeport, and I'd be like, but that was an intense decision to bring a wife and 4 kids to Freeport, you know. So, like you said, in reference to your generation, I will not let your seed die. Yeah. You know, that kind of way. And I truly appreciate what you've done for us, what you continue to do for us. I feel that I had the best parents. I have the best parents. And not, I know we say that as cliche, but like I said, you were the type that you would give the clothes off your back. You would borrow money from this person to make sure we were straight. You know that kind of way? So I just say it's a big thank you. And I'm going to make sure I push myself to be able to do more for you and make sure that your seed doesn't die, that your great-grandchildren will know, well, my great-granddaddy was a wonderful man, was a strong man, you know? Yeah, that's what I would say.
What? What I would say, same thing you said, but I would say, I love you, Dad.
Yes, sir.
I love you. And your how you say it? The faults and all. Everything. I love you. From what I could be, and that's from the same foundation from birth. And beings like you, you being half a man you are. I'm a man.
Yes.
Because some of the things you had to do, that's to provide for us. It's unknown because I don't know half of it because I was a child, so not to know of it. But what you had to do, and what you doing now, I'm grateful for it. Even though I may not seem grateful, I'm gonna be might feel like you shadow me too much or over us too much or whatever. But it's still me wanting to do my own, be my own man. But still not straying from you, still watching you, still being like you. Just wanting to be on my own, to show you that I can be just like you or even better. At the end of the day, that's to really show you that I can do this. Yeah. You can put the trust in me to do this.
Yes, sir.
That's basically that I love you.
Yes, sir.
And I want you to see that. You did a wonderful job with us. And it's our time to do the job.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right.
You know, I started off with thankfulness, love, and now I want to talk about appreciation. I appreciate what you did for me because I know I definitely wasn't the easiest. I was a hard one. and for me being the last one, most people would think that's the easy one. Let me just get this one over it and keep on pushing. But I know I was a hard cookie, so I appreciate the fact that you stayed there, you pressured me, you molded me into who I am. I just want to say that the foundation you built isn't going to go to waste. It's going to build something great. It's going to build something big. It's going to build something that you will be proud of. That's that's what I want to say. I want to say that the man that you want me to be, I'm going to be more than that because of you. You caused that, and I want you to be proud of the fact that you raised 5 kids, but you also raised 3 wonderful young men. And I just want to say that I appreciate you, along with being thankful for everything that you do, along with loving you. I appreciate the fact that you did everything that you did.
Well, it's time to wrap up now. But here are a few takeaways from today's session.
As a father, closing, just give your closing remarks. Well, I know you have your sons here, but I'm sure your daughters will be watching.
Yes, for sure.
And you may want to send a shout out to them as well. And just go ahead and
every father's love is their girls. So my 2 girls are Rashida and Roshanda. I love them, and people say, you all ain't find nobody yet. You all waiting on someone like your daddy, boy, but I know where the fella ain't born yet. So I mean, I love them, and I just pray the best for them. But through it all, I really couldn't do it without Carla, Mona Lisa, Dane Rule. You know what I mean? The seed was planted, and it came to fruition in the 5 kids. But I thank God for her, because she's a strong woman. You know what I mean? She's a strong woman, and a pillar of support for me. So I appreciate her, and I couldn't have done it without her. Because when I made the decision to come to Freeport, she stood with me. She stood with me, and plenty folks in the family, outside the family, were saying, "Oh, why are you going with this man?" But she stuck with her man, so I can stick with my woman. And I appreciate what God is doing in our lives.
Many times we take for granted that our loved one will always be with us. Today, we encourage you, while you have an opportunity to love, to share kindness, to show appreciation to your father today. He may not have been everything to you, or he may not have done everything that you wanted him to do, but he made tremendous sacrifice for you to be here. Today, we salute fathers in whatever capacity you're in, especially those who are making an impact in the lives of their children. Our prayer is, at the end of it, your child will rise up and call you blessed. Your child would be happy to emulate the values, the principles, and the biblical counsel that you would offer him. Today, take this opportunity to show love, to express your love, so that the person that you hold dear to you will not just think about it, but they would know that you love and care for them. Thank you for watching this broadcast. Hope you have a blessed day.
Happy Father's Day.
Hello, my family and friends. This is yours truly, Bishop Godfrey Williams, inviting you to just tune in every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. on our social media platform, where you will be hearing from a number of men in this month of June. God bless you as you do so.